All right. Good morning. Happy Monday, Center for Spiritual Living, Palm Desert, and friends all over the world. Good morning. It's good to be with you. Reverend Charles, your man, the associate minister here at Center for Spiritual Living, Palm Desert, and that extraordinary woman that you also see on the screen there, that's Reverend Arlene C. Hilton. What's the C stand for, love? What's the C?
Cecilia.
Cecilia.
I was named after Saint Cecilia. My mother was Catholic when she was younger.
Saint Cecilia. What is she known for? Saint Cecilia. Does she have
music and creativity.
Mm-hmm. That's you.
I'll take it.
Creativity. That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, it's great to be with everybody. Hey, you know what? Let's start with a prayer this morning. Rev, will you give us a prayer?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah, let's knock it out the park. Here we go.
And so we take this moment right now to turn within, to pause. This is the gift of prayer. We can pause in any moment. Grateful for this opportunity to recognize the one presence, the one power, the one love, God, higher power, spirit, whatever we may call this presence. It is the unconditional love that carries us, sustains us, and maintains us. And so I bless this time as we come together, knowing that this is a blessed moment, that there is new insights and greater awareness, that there is a recognition of this presence and power as our life. I'm grateful for Reverend Charles and the gift he is on this planet as we serve humanity through conversation, and through a remembrance of who and whose we are. Who are we? We are divine emanations of the Most High God. Who are we? We are spiritual beings in the human condition. Who are we? We are divine. And so I honor that divinity within ourselves and each one of us within the sound of my voice and beyond, and I let it be. It is done, it is done, it is done. And so it is. Amen.
So it is.
Ashe.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Beautiful.
Yes, thank you.
That's a way to start the time. You know what I love is that right before we came on, you were struggling with your phone a little bit because you had a computer thing going, and I was struggling with my lighting. So right up until we went on air, we were both, I don't say struggling, but having a little bit of issue here just with the energy flowing. And I love that that's you and your phone's flying all over the place. But I love that that's life.
Yes.
Yep. I am actually gonna, Jeff's saying I was struggling with lighting. I'm actually gonna go open another blind right now. So say something,
okay.
Say something profound, would you?
Yes. Well, profound, the fact that you're letting more light in.
Did that help?
Let the light shine, yes.
Let the light shine.
Yes, let your light shine so bright. Actually, this is better lighting than the last time we were together, so.
I know. I'm in my office and I've got these beautiful sliding glass doors right here, and I can see the palm trees and the mountains, and it's still a little dark, but we had it figured out. But anyway, we'll rock and roll. How are you? What's going on in your life? What's on your front burner?
Well, today is a massively busy day.
Yeah, what's going on?
I try not to use the word busy. It's an active day. So. And this happened the last time we were together, except there's more this time. I have my 8 a.m. Agape International Spiritual Center. I did the meditation, the prayer this morning. Mm-hmm. After we're off this at 12 o'clock noon, I have the meditation on Agape International Spiritual Center's page. And then I have a 3 o'clock private client. And then I have a 6 o'clock event. I'm working with this group that is, it's called Spiritual Mastery Challenge. Mm-hmm. And people can sign up for $5. And it's like 5 days of, one day will be sound bath. Another day I'll speak about eating. Another day will be workouts. So we're doing it for the week. And then on Saturday, I'll have a chef with me for an hour. And then on Sunday, I'm Agape Live page. And we'll be doing a raw food chef. So we are, and I work at the treatment center this week, Tuesday through Friday. Young adults on Friday night, we're zooming in. So here you go. That's my life. That's my life on God.
It's a woman in service right there. Why don't you like the word busy?
Well, I'm changing the word busy to start using the word active. I have a very active life, because busy can seem like you're just doing, where active is like I'm activating aspects of myself. I'm active in the world. And all of the work that I do, I'm grateful for that it's all serving humanity. Some parts I get paid for, some parts I'm volunteering. So, because although I'm a minister, I still have volunteer work, so.
Right.
Yeah.
So for $1 a day, folks can go through a 5-day program, $5 a day?
$5 to sign up.
And then what is it? But then you said it's 5 days. Is that right?
It's 5 days for $5.
$1 a day, folks can go through this transformational process.
Yes. Yeah.
Say what the program is again.
It's called Spiritual Mastery. It's on my page, actually. You click on it, you sign up, and then you have to join the group. And they started at 8 a.m. today with Teddy Bass. Okay. He's an Agape spiritual licensed practitioner. He's focused on fitness. I'm focused on whole life eating whole living foods. I've been doing that I've been vegan for 12 years now. Can you believe that?
I can. You're a zealot. Reverend Arlene, you are a zealot when it comes to certain things. I am a what? Zealot. Z-E-A-L-O-T, a zealot. You're like a maniac. You're maniacal. You just go for it. You do.
But this is the deal. When I'm in it, I'm in it. And then when it's time to walk away, I leave and it's all complete.
Yeah, right on.
So yeah, zealot. Okay, I'll take that.
Well, I mean it with a heart full of love. It really is. What it means is, it just means with like verve and vigor, just with full commitment.
Yes, I believe in commitment, and you know what? That's why I've been in the teen room for 18 years because when they know you're committed and you're consistent, teenagers, it teaches them something, but it also gives them comfort. So I have teens who come back to me now, they're young adults now, and something goes crazy with someone they grew up with, they'll call me, so-and-so's in the hospital, can you call and pray? And I'm a part of their life, most of them for the rest of their life, and the same thing with my women at the treatment center. Now some are 7, 8 years sober, they're getting married, they call me to officiate their weddings. You're in their life forever. Yeah. So yeah, I'm committed.
You are committed. Yeah, absolutely. So welcome back. I'm grateful that you chose to come back with me. I asked you and you said yes. And the reason is, I think I don't know if I dreamt it in the middle of the night or yesterday. I remembered that there was a lot of participation last time we interacted. Folks loved what you said. And so that's a reminder for me too, that I want to remind everybody to please put in your questions, comments, all sorts of stuff to ask Reverend Arlene anything, ask both of us. We're going to dive into this book here in a second, Science of Mind 365.
Yeah, I already did my reading this morning. That's my morning reading every morning.
There you go. Yeah, we're going to dive into, when we were talking about this, we were talking about that it's so easy to come down into the relative sometimes. And, we're human beings, we're doing our thing. But to go visit principle often as a disciplined practice is very important. And then we invite principle into the relative to inform our lives and to have that wonderful dance with the Holy Spirit, with the whole Spirit of God. And so I love that and I know that you are a principle-based minister, woman, lover of life. And I love when you brought up Science of Mind 365, because that's all that's going on in here is principle. Ernest Holmes, he would go there and just have this sacred tryst with God and then bring back this information. Tell me just share a little bit about what is your relationship with Ernest Holmes? How does he inform your life?
Well, it's interesting about Ernest Holmes because I would like to tell you a little bit of how I found Ernest Holmes. Please. I was 18 years old. I was working at Marshall Fields in Chicago, downtown. major work there, working in cosmetics. I was a makeup artist. And there was a woman in my department that on the slowest days would do like $850. And I'm like, it's the middle of the week. How are you doing this? And it would be quiet in the store. So I had no idea how this was happening. So I went up to her and I said, how are you prospering like this in the middle of a slow day? And she says, well, I study religious science. And she started talking about Ernest Holmes. So I started taking a class at 19. I was about 19 at that time. I started interest at 18 on State Street in the Water Tower place. Whitehead, his last name was Whitehead. He taught a class to study religious science. So I took that class. So after work, I would go take the bus there and take the classes. That's when I started, like 18, 19 years old. I started in these studies. Then I went to Unity, started studying Charles Fillmore. I moved to Cleveland, Ohio, started studying Johnny Coleman, who was one of Charles Fillmore's first African-American ministers, woman. And then I come to California and I end up at Agape back with studying Ernest Holmes in the beginning. So Ernest Holmes has actually carried me. And I remember about 7 years ago, I said, why am I not reading Ernest Holmes? I need to go back to principle. And I started reading Ernest Holmes, and I do the 365 every morning. And I read Reverend Michael's 40-Day Mind Fast Soul Feast at night. And so Ernest Holmes for me is going back to the beginning, going back to principle, going back to source. And I just love Ernest Holmes. Now, the readings are a little bit dated. I do change the word him and he. I change it to God. I change it to spirit, because I know God is not he or him or she. God is all. And so I do that. But on the whole, that's my heart. Ernest Holmes is my heart. And so I really enjoy the readings. I really enjoy the insights that I get from Ernest Holmes. He's very, very powerful. And I'm just grateful that these writings are still available. I also have one of the books of Ernest Holmes that's unabridged. So I have one that has some of the readings, his original writings before some of them were changed. So I have that book, and that's an opportunity for me to also, go deeper in remembrance. There's a saying, the main cause of man's suffering is forgetfulness. So we get to remember the truth of our being, the truth of who we are, the truth of who we've always been, divine emanations of God. And so that's the story in a nutshell. And I stand in gratitude for every opportunity that I have to really tap into these principles of Ernest Holmes that are real, that are alive, that are active. And, it's a powerful thing. And so, yes, you all can see, I can actually continue talking until Reverend Charles has another insight or another question, or until he's back on the screen. But I find that these teachings are life-changing, life-supporting, that these teachings can literally change your life. One of the things that I like to look at is oneness with God, because a lot of people don't understand that understanding of being one with God. Many people, when it comes to that, some people think it's not good to think of yourself as one with God. They think it's blasphemy. And I feel that it's blasphemy to think that God is separate from us, judging us, criticizing us, that's what God is. I feel that this creative power, God, that created the entire universe, omniverse, the cosmos, over 7.5 billion human beings on the planet, not one of our fingerprints is the same. How can this presence and this power be separate from its own creation?
That's right.
It makes no sense. And so that is something that has really helped me through life, oneness. Even when I'm having difficulty with someone, I'm actually one with that individual. And that is a reminder. It reminds me of the truth. And in that truth, there's freedom. Because yes, that person may be unkind to me right now. it has nothing to do with me. There's something going on with them. And that right where they are, the presence of God is there. That is the namaste. I see beyond appearance and to stand in oneness. And so that's one of the things that brings me to Ernest Holmes, always coming back to that one presence, that one power, that one love. That is my life and the life of each and every one of us. So I hear your voice, Reverend Charles.
You can't see me?
I can't see you.
Uh-oh. Hey, Jeff. But you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Thank goodness my voice is so something milk chocolatey. You can't see me though, huh? I see me. Huh.
Yeah.
What happens if I do that? Nothing.
Nothing yet.
What do you see? Just yourself?
I see me in both screens.
You see? Oh, all right. Well, I just, because of the lighting, I just switched to my phone too. So we're just going to rock and roll with it. At least you can hear me because I can see you. So,
okay.
Amen. Maybe Jeff can do something behind the scenes. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm here with you. So, well, and you mentioned Reverend Michael. I know you're a student of his as well, but his life has been pretty heavily informed by Ernest Holmes as well. In addition to many other individuals that he's studied. So, Ernest Holmes, would you say Ernest Holmes is a spiritual genius?
Yes. I also want to remind you, yes, Ernest Holmes is one of my greatest transformative experiences. Yet I have to remind you that I was with Unity at one point. I was with Johnny Coleman. So I studied a lot of Charles Fillmore. So Charles Fillmore, I even did some Mary Baker Eddy studies. So I really kind of new thought, and then Reverend Michael added in the ancient wisdom part of it. I really did a lot of studying. Yet when I became a practitioner, I was a religious science practitioner. And I know the names have changed, but that's what I came in as. And then when Agape became an independent community, I then became an Agape spiritual practitioner, and then became a minister. Yeah. So these teachings have carried me for a long time. I remember I used to get the little Unity books in the mornings, and I would read them. I was in my 20s, 30s. I get the book in the morning. Every morning I would read a reading from Unity. And so I've been surrounded by some powerful spiritual understandings.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Yeah.
I have an idea. So August 24th, is that what you read out of Science of Mind 365?
Yes, I read that this
that's
morning.
Today. Was that your morning reading?
Page.
Or what did you read?
It's about love and harmonizing good, harmony.
Yep.
So I read that this morning at 8 a.m.
And by the way, I think coming out from behind the scenes, I think somehow you need to do something with your phone if you want to see me. Otherwise, we're all good. I'm there.
I need to do stuff with my phone. I don't know. You went off and...
I think so.
Let me check and see here.
I did. Well, I went from my computer to my phone because of the lighting situation. I know I'm disturbing our thing here, but we're still having some fun.
That's okay. So
what I'd like to do
stopped my video. I started my video. Let me take a look here. I see Jeff Harrison's information. There's nothing because I'm on my phone.
Well, our audience can see both of us, and that's what's important. So here's what I'd like to,
because
here's what you just get a double dose of yourself in the mirror. Here's what I'd like to do is it's Monday, generally agreed on as the top of the week. If you look at it through a Monday through Sunday, even though there's only one day in God's mind, is that let's go through the reading for today. The essence of love expresses through the essence of love expresses through me as harmony. If you're playing along at home and you have 365 Science of Mind, I invite you to take a look at it too. Let's read through it. And then I want to encourage each one of us to create a power statement for the week, or an affirmation, or an intention. Something that for today will lead us through the week and be a a vision, a guidepost for how we move about during the week.
Well, I set an intention every day. So I've already set my 3 intentions for the day. But yeah, they can definitely do that. I'm going to grab my book.
Let's do it.
Do
you want to share what your 3 are?
My intentions are divine love, divine wisdom, and divine order. Divine love, divine wisdom, and divine order. The divine is God. God's love, God's wisdom, God's order to guide me through this day and through the rest of the week.
Love it. Cool.
I do that every morning.
Go get your book?
Yep, it's right here, actually.
You do 3 intentions every morning?
Oh, yeah, every morning.
There it
because
is.
I wake up at 5 a.m. I meditate for 45 minutes. I do my morning reading. Yep. And I have my own workbook that I use. I have a workbook. It's my workbook. So I use my workbook and I write my intentions in the morning, and then I write my gratitude list in the evening. So this is a way of life. I have a spiritual practice, and I teach it in my workshops to have daily spiritual practice. And even though I'm a minister, I still need practice. I need to remember God. I need to acknowledge the presence. And so that's what I do every day. So intentions are what I teach.
Right on. Would you mind reading us through today's, okay, let's go here then. Would you read us through today's reading and then teach us about how to create an intention for the day and for the week? Would you be willing to do that?
Sure. This will be my 3rd time reading this today.
You're bringing it home then.
I read it to myself at 5 a.m. I'm reading it. I read it at 8, and now here we go.
Cool.
The essence of.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The essence of love expresses through me as harmony. The law of the Lord is perfect, and the law of the Lord is love. You are made perfect in the law when you enter into conscious communion with love. It is only through love that the law can fulfill itself in your experience, because love harmonizes everything and unifies everything. I want to pause right there, because tonight on my page at 7 p.m. Pacific time, I'm doing a unification meditation. So this was so perfect. It was just my solid, but it unifies everything is very important.
Yes.
You can never make the most perfect use of the law of your life unless that use is motivated by love. As the artist imbibes, and can you pronounce this word for me? IMBIBES.
Imbibes,
because I'm feeling that word. Said it again.
Takes in, imbibes.
Yeah. I'm feeling imbues, but it's imbibes. Okay. As the artist imbibes the essence of beauty, so you must drink in the love all around you. You must imbibe its spirit. This love is more than sentiment. It is a deep sense of the underlying unity, beauty, and majesty of all life. The goodness running through everything, the givingness of life to everything. Say, today I bestow the essence of love upon everything. Everyone shall be lovely to me. My soul meets the soul of the universe in everyone. Everything is beautiful. Everything is meaningful. This love is a healing power, touching everything into wholeness, healing, and healing the wounds of experience with its divine balm. Yes. I know that this love essence is the very substance of life, the creative principle back of everything, flowing through my whole being, spiritual, mental, and physical. It flows in transcendent loveliness into my world of thought and form, every ever renewing, vitalizing, bringing joy, harmony, and blessings to everything and everyone it touches. Woo, breathe into that one.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Amen.
Yep, that's Ernest Holmes. I love it.
That is Ernest Holmes. I'm going to just read that last paragraph one more. I'm going to oh, go ahead. What are you going to do? Go ahead.
Well, I wanted to say where it says the law of the Lord, I normally just say the law of God, the law of spirit. I like to play around with words because sometimes when we get stuck in Lord or God, we think of this rigidity. And I know that the presence is this sweet softness, you know, so this love. So I just want to speak to that, but sure, go ahead.
Well, how do we, let's talk about practical application for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
How do we bring this idea into our lives today? How teach that for a moment? What the essence of love expresses through me is harmony. Is there an internal posture that we assume to?
You're breaking up. Hold on.
As we move about our day, like how does your intention, the intention that you create, are you with me?
Yes.
Hello.
I can hear you now.
Okay. The threefold intention that you created this morning, how does that play out in your day? What's your relationship with that, or your internal posture, if you will, and how that informs your day?
Okay, so this is the deal. And I really talk more about this with my students or people who are studying or my treatment center. But this is the deal. Many of us have been living unintentionally. You know, we've allowed life to kind of decide for us how we're going to be. And so my thing is to be intentional about how you want to live. When I'm saying on a spiritual level, my intention is divine love. My intention is God's love, to reveal God's love. When I say divine wisdom, I'm tapping into the wisdom of God that is within me. It's not out there somewhere. It's right where I am. And it's right where all of us. And when I say divine order, there's an order to the universe. This planet is the right distance from the sun. If this planet is in divine order, so is my life, because that order is also God. So what I do with intentions, which is different from a goal. Goals are what you want to do. Intentions are how you want to be. And so when I read this reading, I want to be that harmony for my day to flow. And so I'm going to use an example. When you and I were having difficulty getting on our phones, and even though I can't even see you right now, right?
Yep.
And even though I was flipping my phone, my holder, no one had ever told me to put my phone sideways, so it wouldn't hold, and then the whole holder flipped sideways suddenly. Yep. And I was like, oh, that's how it works. That was all harmony. By the time it was time for us to get on, we were on point.
Yes.
That's God to me in activity. Like, I'm not looking for God to come and fix my life. I am here to reveal the presence of God. We're all here to reveal the presence. That takes us right back to what we started with, which was oneness. We're one with God. If we're one with God, then I am here to reveal God as the divine love, as the divine wisdom, as that divine order. That's what I'm here to do. And it takes it off my shoulder. And I have something else. We'll see. If I'm guided to tell you this, I will. But we'll keep talking.
Well, aren't you guided right now? What? No, you just put the editor just kicked in. What happened? What happened?
Well, no, it's funny. It's funny because
can you hear me?
I knew you were going to say that when I said that. I can hear you. So, you can hear me?
100%. Oh, we're both here. It's just for some, we're in good shape. Absolutely.
So the situation is, I'm in my apartment, and I live in a duplex. So my landlady, her apartment is behind mine. On Mondays is when I tend to do all my filming, because I'm at Safe Harbor. I'm at the treatment center Tuesdays through Friday. I'm at the treatment center. So Mondays I get things done. Sundays I'm at Agape. So this is my day to film. I hear some knocking over there. So I said to my landlady weeks ago that on Mondays is when I do my filming. Can repairs be done on other days? Because I'm away from my house 5 days a week.
Mm.
So today I hear this knocking and I'm thinking, we're going to be filming. I was in prayer that you couldn't hear it while it was going on, that it wasn't going on in the background. So I called her and I said, hey, I just want to know how long will they be over there, just so I could be mentally prepared. And she said, they're going to be here. She said, I don't know, but they'll be here until they're done.
Okay.
So I'm going to blame it on the Jamaican in me. My mind starts going, really? That's your answer? Anyway, we're done with the call. And I was not happy. I was upset. Yep. And then I went straight to, you know what? Right where she is, God is, the presence of God. Everything that needs to unfold will unfold with the ease of grace. I know that I'm guided by the presence, and whatever is right is what's going to happen, because nothing can stop a God idea. And so that is the mentality that I went into, and I paused and prayed before I got on this call. And that was it, because this is the deal. This isn't about me. This is about how much of the presence is going to be revealed through this conversation, through this time together. That's it. I don't have control over anything else. And I'm going to tell you, it was beautiful to get on. And even though I had difficulty years ago, I would have been so frustrated and so angry. For what? Because guess what? No matter what happens, the presence is always going to unfold and reveal itself. That's how it works.
Yes.
And since we've been on this, not one knock has happened.
I haven't heard anything. Has anybody else heard anything? I haven't heard.
That's what I'm saying.
Nope. Yep.
So I say that to say, you know what? I love the 4 agreements, which speaks about not taking things personal and just understanding that if I am truly doing what I'm here to do, everything will flow with the ease of grace. It'll happen. So
is that how we know? Is that how we know we're doing what we're here to do? Then, because everything is flowing with ease and grace.
Exactly. I've released the battle. I don't believe I have to battle to life. I'm going to say this. I said this to Marianne Williamson. One day I was speaking to Marianne Williamson. I went to one of her talks and I went up to her and I said, you know what? Something happened to me. I used to be a fighter. I was like, at that time I was still working in cosmetics. And I was like, I used to fight for what we needed and argue it down. And I feel so like I've lost that. And she looks at me and she says, once you become enlightened, you don't need to fight. So if there are moments when I'm going to have to stand for something, but I don't have to get into this battle with people, and I can surrender into any moment. And can I tell you, that is liberation right there. I've been freed in that understanding. I want to give you one more example.
Please.
On my page, I put up Black Life Matters, and I don't say lives, I say life, because it's all one life. And someone responded to that about how many African-American children have been aborted and really wanted to combat me about abortions. Well, if you really check the numbers, there's more other cultures who have had way more abortions, but that's beside the point. So this person, I said to them, I understand, I gave them my love, yet this is my focus, that equality for all. Equality for all. That's not asking too much. We're all one with God, so equality for all. There became a battle on my page with these 2 individuals arguing with one another. And I didn't get involved. I said, okay, it's complete. I said what I had to say, I'm done. There's a time when I would have gone back and had to, listen, the truth is the truth. The truth will set us free. And we get to walk together in this knowing we are one in the presence of God.
Yes.
That's it. That's it. And that the presence of God created us all in its own image and likeness. Look at the vastness of God. to have so many of us. We're all in the image and likeness of God. Every tree, every animal, every bird, every planetary system, every human being, all living, all in the image and likeness. This is the vastness of our Creator. And we're limited to beliefs of separation.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things I love too, along those, to kind of piggyback on your point, Reverend Arlene, is the idea, not the idea, the fact that the same pattern that exists in our solar system exists within the cells of our body.
Yes.
It's a pattern. There's a harmony. It's
a harmonizing good. Yes.
It's a harmonizing good. And to remember those types of things, we realize that we actually do live within a harmony. So in challenging times, again, it comes back to the simple idea of where am I putting my attention, on the challenging time or the harmonizing force that is the universe? The harmonizing isness, not even the force, the isness that is the universe, simply being itself, which actually brings me back. I made a little note here. You said when you first, if I remember correctly, you said that the idea that people are one with God can make people, can ruffle some feathers sometimes, that they're actually one with God.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be a comforting idea though, to know that you're one with God?
Well, it is for me. Yet, you know, this is the deal. And I'm just going to be candid right now.
You're going to start now?
When we have something to blame, people seem to be okay with that. You know, when things go wrong, they blame the devil. When things go wrong, they also can say it's God's will. When things go right, thank God. Yes. You know, we go to something outside of us instead of understanding to take total responsibility for our life. How am I revealing God as my life? That's what it is. And if I am one with this presence, and as, I'm changing the word if, as I am one with this presence and one with this power, no matter what happens, even if it's so-called evil or painful, the presence of God, we will overcome because that presence is within us. And if it's good, the presence of God is revealing itself as that experience. God, if we can't say that we believe in a presence and a power that is omnipresent, omniactive, omniscient, all-knowing, omni, which means all, and then say that God is absent in these moments.
Yes, right. But those are that's the human. That's again back to the fundamental idea, and I love this, that God created us, as you just said, in its own image and likeness, and the idea that we've been trying to return the favor ever since, right?
Yes, I remember Reverend Michael said that in the movie, The Moses Code, I believe he said that.
So that's the idea though, right, wrong, good, bad, evil, whatever it is, painful, non-painful. These are human ideas. These are ideas of distinction that we've created. And as human beings, we experience what we call pain, suffering, loss, because I just had a loss in my family, and we experience the pain of that and the grief of that. And that's just what it is, though. To start attaching other things like evil or bad, that's what we do. Instead of acknowledging the presence of God, like, acknowledging that my nephew is closer, is with his, some of the suffering that he had on the human level doesn't exist anymore, I believe, because of what happened. And so the presence and power and love of God is as his life and our family's life. It's part of the human condition, grief, loss, these things that we go through. And yet, exactly to your point, as you just said, God has to be in the midst of all of it. The life, the presence.
Right.
Yep.
My thought is first of all, I want to give my condolences for your nephew. And I know that his love and the love that he imbued and the love that he was still is. There's no was. Amen. That love is eternal. And so I just wanted to give my condolences to you for your nephew.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I agree completely in what you were saying, because 7 years ago, as of August 18th, is when my mother made her transition. And one of the things I realized is I'm closer to my mother now than when she was alive.
Hmm.
And I couldn't conceive that because I'd never, I, when people would say that, I didn't understand it. I could understand it intellectually, but I couldn't understand it on another level. And now I understand it. Now I understand when people say things like that, because, sometimes I get up, it's 4:15 in the morning. I automatically wake up between 4:15, 4:30 a.m. since she passed. And those are my moments when I dialogue with her and I talk to her. And I sometimes go back to bed till 5. But I take a moment because my life has really advanced since she made her transition, as if she's with me saying, you're okay, you can do this, So I do believe in life beyond life, and that life is eternal, as I believe in science. Energy can be transmuted, but it cannot be destroyed. This spirit
Yes.
of who we are, this energy is eternal. And she's just returned back to the presence,
Yes. Yes. The
Yeah,
presence. The one thing that is, the only thing that is. I want to remind
absolutely.
everybody, if you, any questions or comments, please, I haven't seen anything pop up yet, but if you have
Yes.
anything, I know Reverend Arlene is can't wait to answer any questions that you have. Put them in. I know Jeff will make sure we see them. We've got a few minutes left here, but want to make sure
Okay.
that you're involved in the conversation as well. So let's. You said intention is your thing. Help people create an intention statement. Would you for today?
Well, it's not
How do we
really.
do that?
Well, let me just say this. There's different things. So let me just speak to different areas.
Sure.
This is my understanding, and this is how I work with individuals that do my fasting programs and things like that. An intention is how you want to be. I said that earlier.
Yeah.
An affirmative statement is a statement that you want to make about, yourself, such as my first affirmation was from that woman I learned at Marshall Field, Chicago. I am loved. That was my first affirmation. I am loved. And I carried that affirmation for years, and I still use it in moments, right? And then there's a mantra. A mantra is a statement that I use to remind myself of who I am in God. So for instance, there's a moment in my life when I did not feel supported. And in that moment, I was doing work, and the person in my life didn't honor my work. They didn't see the value of it. And I felt not supported when I needed certain things that they could have supported me with. And so I remember, God, what do I need to remember? And there's a biblical saying, when God is for you, no man can be against you. So I took off the no man can be against you, and I started speaking my mantra, God is for me. 4 simple words. Mantras tend to be short. Affirmations can be a little longer, but I needed 4 simple words to go to. And that go to was, God is for me. So whenever I had moments that were difficult and I didn't feel that I could do the things I wanted to do, or I didn't feel supported, I would say, God is for me. And so there's different things that I use those 3 things: intentions, affirmations, and mantras. I use them kind of separate because a mantra is something you keep. It doesn't change. It's something that I keep and I use all the time. I've been using that mantra over 7, 8 years now. An affirmation could be, I need to remind myself, in God I am whole. For the moment, for something I might be going through, an intention can carry me through the day, or sometimes my women will carry the same intention for a whole week. An intention is, how do you want to be? I want to be loving today, so divine love. I want to use God's wisdom today, divine wisdom. I want an orderly day with all that I have to do, divine order.
Love it. Okay, well, here's my charge to everybody tuning in today then is, out of those, choose one. That what Reverend Arlene just said. Do you want to create a mantra right now? Do you want to create an affirmation? Or do you want to create an intention, an affirmative statement, intention, or a mantra? The bottom line is create something today. Do something that pulls you forth, that calls the divine out of you, that calls the best out of you, that calls the spiritual substance out of you, such that wherever you find yourself, you are a spiritual force to be reckoned with. That you are you are God's emissary. You are an ambassador of peace, an ambassador of love, something that calls you forth, that calls the greatness out of you, your divine spark that turns into a conflagration of the whole Spirit of God wherever you are. So that's your charge. And if anybody wants to share in the final minutes here, when we're wrapping this thing up, if anybody wants to share that publicly, by all means do so. I think that's a cool distinction. I don't think I've ever heard, I mean, I'm familiar with all three of those kind of quote unquote categories, but I had never heard that distinction before. That's pretty cool.
Yes. And that's really, again, how I live my life. Every morning I set my intentions. I use my mantra when needed. Affirmations at this point in my life, I don't use them as much, yet because my affirmations changed. I'll talk to you about that next time. Yet it's a great, especially when you're beginning in these understandings, you want to put the I am with something powerful. I am love. I am peace. I am joy. The very thing I'm seeking, I am it. And so though I love the affirmative statements. And then lastly, even with today's reading, to use a statement such as, I am the harmonizing good of God, or God is my harmony. Something like that is a good reminder, that God's love this is a statement in itself. In the title, God's love expresses through me as harmony. That's an affirmation. Yes. Right there.
Yes.
Just change it into your own and make that your statement. It's powerful.
Yes. And I want to, as I mentioned earlier, I want to read that last paragraph one more time.
Let's hear it.
I know that this love essence is the very substance of life, the creative principle back of everything, flowing through my whole being, spiritual, mental, and physical. It flows in transcendent loveliness into my world of thought and form, ever renewing, vitalizing, bringing joy, harmony, and blessings to everything and everyone it touches. And that's, again, how we can become that sacred ambassador for the kingdom and queendom of heaven, that through us, we bless everything and everyone that we touch, whether it's through just a small interaction, walking down the street, an interaction or conversation like this, prayer time with your prayer partner, a phone call with a loved one, phone call with a stranger, whatever it might be. We become that living emissary of heaven, of which is just another word for harmony, really. I mean, so many words are interchangeable, huh, Rev? When we talk about God. Yeah.
I agree.
When we talk about God. It's nice to be agreed with. What else do you have for it? Any final statements, final love? You want to let anybody know how they can join you on the things that you're up to?
Sure. I'd like to, hold on one moment. I'd like to add in that, again, just a reminder, if you go on my page, Rev Arlene Cecilia Hilton, and it's my entire name because I have a cousin named Arlene Hilton on Facebook. Right. So,
and that's your Facebook
Rev
page.
Arlene,
okay. Yep.
It's Rev Arlene page. Cecilia Hilton. If you go on my page, it actually has spiritual mastery challenge. People can still sign up. You click on that and you go in and it's $5. And then you want to join their page and it'll give you the information on the page. And then every day throughout the day, we'll have different people coming on. Today at 6 p.m., I will be on speaking about eating and how it supports spiritual practice and the importance of what we're putting in the body temple. And then 7 p.m. on my page, it's a gift. It's a 1-hour meditation. I do readings. I have music. I do a silent meditation first for 12 minutes. Then I do a reading. That tends to be how it goes. And then on the last meditation, it's a guided meditation. And so today, again, my meditation is on unity. So that's what's happening today.
Love it. That's
Yes.
that's what's happening today.
Yeah.
Again,
And last, also 12 o'clock noon, I'll be on Agape's page with meditation.
Okay, cool. Do you do that every day, or is that just on Mondays?
Well, I personally, pretty much every other Monday I'm on. Yeah, it's
Okay.
practitioners and ministers of Agape every day. So
Gotcha.
yes, it's Rev Arlene Hilton, no
Yep.
Campbell. Rev
No
Arlene
Campbell.
Hilton.
Yep.
Wonder if it does that.
Well,
Anyway,
it's Rev Arlene Cecilia. Is it right?
yeah, Rev Arlene Cecilia Hilton. Yes.
And Hilton is Hylton.
Hylton. Yes.
Not like the hotel.
No, but I wouldn't mind some of that money, so I can. That would be lovely.
Amen to that.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So Rev Arlene Cecilia Hilton on Facebook. You can follow and stay informed with what she's up to. Love bless you. I'm so grateful that you're here again.
I'm so grateful to be here. I'm grateful, and congratulations to you on this. Is like your next level when we are in this this environment that we're in. We're finding new innovative ways to reach one another. So I think this is powerful. Yeah,
amen. It is. And what you've brought today is super powerful with the word, with just the truth that you bring, steeped in principle. I appreciate you very much. Yeah, absolutely.
Grateful.
All right. We got one question or one comment real quick. Let's see what it says.
Oh, yeah. By the way, I'm drinking my green drink again.
Drink that green drink. Mm-hmm. Brave Human says, Reverend Arlene, love seeing you here again.
Oh,
amen.
Thank you.
I do too.
Brave Human. I appreciate that.
Brave Human. All right. Have a magnificent day being active all day long.
Thank you. Here's your hug to everybody.
Oh, yeah. Hug it out. Hug it out. All right.
Oh, peace and love.
Big love, family. Have a beautiful Monday. I'll see you tomorrow with Jafon Seeley. All right. Peace.